basically all the Haldeman family, including the painting of. And this actually belongs to her. You can see it right there. This was purchased when she and Jane Addams, when Ann Addams and Jane Addams were in Baltimore for the winter. I think it was 1888, something like that. Okay, then you get over here, and you've got this is the Addams family. Here you have John Addams. This oil painting was done in Italy in probably about 1882, 83, when Anna and Jane went over there. It's based on the photograph that you got there. Okay, these are one of the three cases that we bought, and Steve put them together. And what we have in here are basically things that relate to Marcette or Emmanuel, her husband. This doll was given to Marcette on the day she was born. Okay, and there's two other dolls that are part of this collection I'm trying to get. That's a picture of Marcette, and she's actually wearing these wood shoes from the Netherlands. The picture was taken by her mother, Sarah Alice, who of course was Jane Addams' sister. And these are publications that we have that relate to the Addams family. There's a DVD, well, actually it's a CD, and this is a copy of the fairy tale that Marcette wrote. That's the family dog, okay? And here is a sketch of the family dog. Family rumors have it that Jane Addams did that, but I'm sure she didn't. Jane Addams was not an artist. I think that's Alice. Sarah Alice did it. Alice was a very, very good artist and a very good photographer and very good at working with metals. Okay, she was, plus the fact of being a banker, president of the bank. This entire thing here has to do with Marcette and her husband, the entire thing. And the little blue books and so forth. Supposedly, and we believe it's true, Jane Addams gave this to Marcette and Emmanuel on their wedding day. It's a gong for calling people to dinner. Okay. Okay. Spinning wheel, we suspect it either belonged, we don't know for sure, we know it was built somewhere between 1802 and 1804, but it possibly belonged either to Jane's mother or grandmother, but we're not sure. Okay? It works too, by the way. It does work. Okay. Now, almost all of this furniture that you see was either in the Addams homestead here or was in the home of Marcette or her mother, okay, who was Sarah Alice, in Girard. Okay? Now there were originally, I think there were 1, 2, 3, yeah, there were 3 rockers like that, but only one has survived that we know of. These things that you see here, we got this, this is not from the collection, but we got this, but we never had a chance to display it. These are child's dishes, and they belonged to the daughter of the last miller for John Addams, okay? And then were passed on down. These are pieces she picked up, and these two were from the Philippines, and these were from Japan. She made trips over there, probably, we're not quite sure, but maybe 1912, 1915, something like that. Okay. This is some of the stuff that Sarah Alice did. Now, I say Sarah Alice, but she was actually Alice. Everybody called her Alice or Allie. She was a painter, excellent painter. These are oils on wood. The wood's about that thick. Okay. Now she probably never saw these particular scenes. She probably copied something else. But she studied for several years at Rockford Female Seminary. Then she stayed on for a couple of years as an art tutor there, and then she did take a summer of art study in Germany. Okay, and these silver pieces she made, and we know that she made them in 1903 at Hull House, and they have her monogram on them.
Oh,
All three of them have the monogram on them. These are very heavy candle holders. They were bought by Sarah's husband, who was a halderman, okay, in Germany, probably to give to his mother, probably about 1880, something like that. That is a weighted chess set that belonged to Henry. Henry used to play chess with his brother George by mail.
Oh,
by mail. Yep. And this bed, it probably is from a family. Let's see. It's maybe from the Beaver family, which was the family before the Addams family. We're not quite sure, but we do know that it was brought down here probably about 1844, 45, and it ended up in the homestead, and then about before she died in 1900. Sometime after the turn of the century, the second Mrs. Addams moved this bed over to the cottage. Okay, and Paul Fry says he slept in it one time. When he was in the service and he went to visit his Aunt Mary Fry in 1941, coming out of the Army, that he slept in this particular bed. Okay. We know that the two dressers are part of the Addams homestead, but we don't know who owned them. We don't know if George owned this one or who. All we know is it's from the homestead. Okay. And this, supposedly, is the bed that Jane Addams was born in.
Wow.
The Jane Addams birthday. And not only Jane Addams, but other members of the family. The problem is that supposedly there is a letter that sits in some college in the United States that was written by John Addams and his wife back to the people in Pennsylvania who sent this bed saying it has arrived. But we've never found, now we've only been able to go through 2 colleges so far, and there are probably about a half a dozen or more colleges that have documents dealing with Jane Addams, and we simply have never been able to find that letter. We're accepting the family's word for the fact that this was the bed that Jane Addams was born in. Of course, at that time, the main bed was on the first floor. There was no, the kids slept upstairs, okay? So this would have been on the first floor. But the room that was the bedroom at that time is no longer a bedroom. It's being used for something else. Okay? So this is supposedly the piece for the collection. The Jane Addams birthday. That's it. We got a bunch of other stuff, but we don't have room for it. It had a mirror attached to it, but it's not that mirror over there. It's not that mirror. I've tried. It simply does not fit in anywhere on the back. And these, we don't really know where they were from. They just gave them to us. When they delivered this stuff, it came in a van, 6 feet wide, 6 feet tall, 12 feet long. And when they opened up the back of that van, things just popped out like a spring. That's how much stuff was in it. As I said, we had all this stuff, all these Indian things, okay?